Welcome back to another video. It's not a video I wanted to film, but the Land Rover has other opinions. Walked out this morning, got to put a little water underneath. First thing I did was check the coolant reservoir, whatever you call it, the expansion tank, and empty. So hopefully the radiator is okay and it's just a pipe that slit. But I thought, well, I'll just quickly take it off and have a look. So I'm going to just get a cross-headed screwdriver, and I think it's that bolt and that bolt, and that one's already out, so won't take much. That one should do. That just goes in there like that, and then a bit of pressure, it comes off. I think there's actually another one, yeah, one down there. So yeah, I do not want to do this, but I want another one there. Keep revealing more as I go along. There we are. Just gonna place everything out of the way. So the radiator's a bit clogged up. I might take that out and just give that a bit of a clean, because I don't want. It should be alright. I might just give it a clean anyway. It's got the air compressor. I've got a torch. Yeah. So it looks to me that it's coming out of one of the bottom ones, which is not good. Or I don't really know. I don't think it's coming out of the hose. I think it's the radiator. It's really damp at the bottom. Yeah, look, it's really damp at the bottom. That isn't good. So a 2-second job has turned into probably an hour's job now, because that radiator's got to come out. Brilliant. It's life of owning a Land Rover. So first of all, we're going to start with taking the cover off, because I can't get the viscous fan off because I haven't got the proper tools at the moment. So I've undone that bolt and that bolt, which should make this sit back like that. So you've got the radiator on its own. Then I've undone the return line, which has got, just sits. Quickly did it because I didn't know how hard it would be to get off, because normally they're a pain. Sits on there like that, and just got a flat-headed screwdriver and just went off like that. And we're just going to sit that back there out of the way. It clips in there, just unclip it, the line, and it clips in there, unclip it, and then it should sit back. So now we want to take the airbox off. So I've already started. I took the mass airflow sensor off, unplugged it. These two clips come back. And then you should undo the two bolts right here. They're always hand tight, so if not, I think they're like a 10mm. Then it should just pop out like that. That's all I was holding it in. Which this one ain't got the bit on the bottom, but yeah, that's one airbox removed. Well, the only one. So now we can get to this clip here, which I think just get a pair of vice grips or something, clip it together, pull it back, and that should come off. So got my vice grips, put them on there, and then I'll bring that pin back, and that'll pull off like that. You might have some coolant. I recommend putting something underneath it, but the floor's already wet, so to me it makes no difference. Just pull that pipe back like that. Right, next we're going to get a flathead screwdriver, which I'll put in here, and undo this Jubilee clip, which is for the what is it? Intercooler. I think that's what it's called, for the turbo. It should just come undone. It could be a bit of a pain sometimes, and this one seems to be going that way. But there it goes. Just set that back over there out of the way for now. So that's this side done, to my knowledge. I know we've got to undo the bolts, but I'm done with pipes this side, so now I'm going to move on to the next side. This side's a bit harder because you can't really get to the bits, but I'm going to try to. I think this bolt's going to be a lot easier to get to than the other one, so I'm just going to try and get it flatted in there. Got it done quite nicely. Well oiled up from the engine, so which always helps. Doing this one-handed is quite hard. This is the other intercooler pipe. Oh yeah, that's off. So next we've got that pipe down there, which goes, oh no we don't, because I've undone that one here. So now that should, when we take these bolts off down here, the radiator should lift out. So I'm going to, before I do that, I'm going to quickly, well that's close, undo the front grille. I think you need a, that's it. So I ended up just prying it out with 2 screwdrivers, and it sits in there because they can be a pain to unscrew. So once you've got this bolt, this bolt, this bolt out, release off like that. Just place it down there for now. So looking at this, our leak is coming from the back or the front of the radiator here. That's where it looks to be all wet. Wow. All the gunk on the intercooler. Needs a bit of a clean. So, yeah, we're going to get these bolts off now. Don't know if you can see, just in there at the top of that horn mechanism, there's a bolt there which unscrews the bracket, and then it should just pop out of the little bits down there, and then yeah, hopefully if everything goes right, it should come out. So I've got a 10mm socket and 2 extensions. I'll let it soak overnight with WD-40, so hopefully it should come undone. Don't want to apply too much pressure to it, just to get it rounds off. So I'll get these 2 bolts out and then we'll pull the radiator out. With the other side, it's a bit harder to get to, so I've just got a 13mm spanner, and the horn should come out. Yeah. So hold it with 2 hands, just like that. And the horn should just slide out like that, revealing the bolt. So screw this nut back on, and then I will put the socket on there and undo that side. And do this side, and I can figure out where the thread is. There we are. One thing to keep in mind is this side for the radiator bracket is bigger than the other side, so make sure you don't get them mixed up. Keep them on one side, on the other, so you don't get them mixed up. So now the radiator is free from the body. Oh, I pulled. Oh yeah, I've pulled that hose off. So now it should just pop out its socket, pop out its place, just like that. And then this side should just do the same. And then I need 2 hands, so I've got to pull this back and pull the radiator out. So the radiator ain't coming out, so there must be something else holding it. So I think there's another pipe just down there. So I've got to take the battery off so I can get this Jubilee clip off of this one, this pipe here. So that pipe should come off, and then it should give me access to the pipe what's holding it on, hopefully. So with the battery terminals, I think it's a 14. Have I got a 14mm kicking about? No. So let's get the 14mm. Loosen it off. That should pop off like that. Just rest that back there out of the way. The positive feels loose anyways, but it ain't. Not to worry. Don't lose my socket. and then that should pop off. And the battery should just pull out, like so. Which ain't got to what I want to, because I need to get a screwdriver into that hole there. Brilliant. So I've ended up getting a ratchet with a 6mm socket to undo the Jubilee clip, which I can't believe I didn't think about it before, because it's a lot easier. That's loose enough, and that pipe should pull off. So I think I've loosened that up enough. Yeah, just like that. It'll pop off. So now, oh, there's a lot of oil just come out of that, which is not good. But anyways, now I need to get that pipe off there and cut that zip tie, and then it should come out, hopefully, until I run into something else. Just see this split pin, just whatever it's called, in there. So I'm going to use a pair of vice grips and crimp it, take it back. So I think that's off enough. I've pulled it back plenty. Just going to get your arm in there, just like that. It's off. More coolant everywhere. So now it should just pop out. We'll give it a go and see how we get on. Yeah, there we are. Radiator's out. Coolant's still draining, but now we can get to the 2 pipes down at the bottom. So I'm going to try and manoeuvre the radiator so we can get easy access to them. So I highly recommend putting a zip tie or something around them, because there's 2 close to each other and you don't want to get these mixed up. So I put a zip tie on that, onto that, so you basically know which one's top and which one's bottom. So this one's the top, so we're going to put a zip tie around that so we know that is the top. So just like that, radiator's out, water's all over the place, but doesn't matter. The pipes are off, then if you want, take the cover off, and yeah, that's a radiator removal. So just got the one out of the parts vehicle we have. It's a bit dirty, so I'm going to put the blower on the compressor and just give it a good blow out, get rid of all this stuff blocking the intercooler, and then we'll reassemble it. So here's the radiator. I'll give it a good blow down, pretty clean. So now we're going to put it back in the car. So first I've put the cover back in. I need to locate the 2 pipes and then put the 2 pipes onto the radiator the way, because I put a zip tie on, so which is the top, so I'm going to put it on blah, 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 like that. And then I'll push it back in place, and then we'll put all the pipes back on. So as easy as that, the radiator's in, the 2 pipes are on at the bottom. I've just got to manoeuvre them pipes so I can get that pipe back on. Then this pipe goes on, and that one goes on there. And I'm going to bolt it all down, and then hopefully it should go okay. So the radiator's back in, all the pipes are tight, all of the set pins are on and whatnot. That's what they're called. So when I install a used radiator, I always want to flush it through. So if I find this bit of pipe, just put it on the return on there, just dangle it over into a bucket or something. But first, before I start the engine, you want to make sure the cover is not on the fan, or going to rub on the fan, because we don't want to put all the casings back on, because we want to look out for leaks as well as flushing the radiator through. So what I would recommend is filling the expansion tank all the way up with water. I wouldn't use antifreeze for flushing it through, because it's a bit of a waste really. So I'll just fill that all the way up with water, then let it suck it all the way through, like let it take it all the way through, and then fill it back up and do it about 3 times, and just look out for any leaks on the bottom pipes, or just keep an eye on leaks while it flushes through. So I'll fill the expansion tank up, and then we'll go from there. So the expansion tank's full, I've got my pipe ready in my bucket. So now I've just got to Make sure it's in neutral so I don't drive off. Should flush all the fluid through. So I've let it flush through a couple of times. That's the result. It's a bit mucky, so which is good. So now we know the expansion tank's empty completely, which is good because we know all the water is out the system through that. I know there'll be a little bit of water through the engine and whatnot, but it doesn't really matter. We're going to put high strength coolant in it in the first place. So, but we're going to put it back together now, put the pipe back on, and then I'm going to put high strength coolant in it. And then, yeah, and then before we finish with the job, we're going to measure the coolant strength. I don't know what the tool's called, I don't know. Make sure it's the correct strength and for the weather. And then we should be okay, but we're going into summer now, so it shouldn't matter as too much, but yeah, so I'm just happy with the result. Now we've got to get it back together. So first we're going to reassemble the airbox. It's in there like that, and then the two bolts which I've screwed back in there so I don't lose them. And then that should, like that. No. It's a bit fidgety with one hand. Like that, and then the bolts will go in, and then put your airflow mass sensor onto that, and clip it on, and then push it down and it'll click in. And then we will put the return line on next. So I'll just put the line on now. That's in. Made it so it runs along the front, and I just got to click it into that one there. So that's the return line all done. Now I've got to screw down the casing, like the I don't know what you call it. It's like a guard thingy. Get it screwed down. So the bolts are in. Just make sure when you do it, if you're replacing a radiator, that it's in the guard rails at the bottom, because if not, it'll rub on the fan. And then you'll probably snap your blades on your fan, I don't know, something like that will happen. So yeah, that's in the guardrails now. To the expansion tank, wiggle it, solid in there. So now we can put the guard back on, which has got the 4 screws either side. So now we're going to put the grill back on. It slots into the 2 holes there, these bits, and then it should be ready to go. Yeah, a bit like that, and then bolts go in the holes, and then yeah. So there we are, grill's back on, covers all on, everything's tightened up. Everything's on properly, so now we've just got to put the coolant in and flush it through the system. So the coolant's now in and flushed through the system. So that's how you change a radiator in a LandRover Discovery 2. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next part. Bye for now.